the impact that you have now in terms of judging it based off of execution or implementation of the plan, the follow through by clients relative to what was happening before you started implementing the life planning and the authentic life mentality. Have you been able to see a difference of people owning the plan and executing on the plan and relative to how it was prior of just using maybe a spreadsheet or a big kind of 50-page financial plan from eMoney or Right Capital?
I would say that the success of execution has been pretty consistent. Again, I've always tried to attach the emotional part of the plan to the numbers. So, but what I have seen more of, and even before Life Design Plus, like it's been an evolution to get to that relationship. I've seen clients taking more control over their life and taking more calculated risks and doing things they didn't think they were going to be able to do because of the plan and because of the
Mm.
conversation. So an example of, I shared at the beginning of the book that the AGC put out, More Than Money. Um, my high school English teacher is a client of mine, and she's given me permission to talk about the story. But she ended up, after our planning and our conversations, and it was more the conversation and then bringing the number to the conversation, retiring, moving out to Arizona, and living her best life. And one of the coolest moments in my career was at the end of the meeting where we finalized what she was going to do. She hugged me and said, "You gave me 10 years back of my life." Because she thought she had to retire at 65 because that's what her parents told her, that's what other people told her, and she didn't. And the really cool thing about it is the planning process continues and the authentic life is an evolution. And now that she's made this public, she's actually moving back to Indiana. And the really cool thing about that is she took this risk. She's financially no worse off than she was if she would have stayed here, actually, probably a little bit better. But she got to experience that version of herself, the Arizona version of herself. She got to experience and she loved it, but she also realized what was so great about the Indiana version of herself. And that sometimes the grass isn't always greener, that was great for a couple of years, but that helped her realize that being back here was more important to what she values the most. And she never would have been able to do that if she didn't go spend the couple years out at Arizona. And
Mm.
most people won't do that because they're afraid of the numbers. Well, if I sell my house here and I move there and I have to sell a house there, like maybe I lose money on the moving costs, or she's going to have a higher interest rate here, like all these different things. But at the end of the day, her plan supports all of that. So who cares about if you have a little bit higher interest rate? She's never going to have any regrets. If she stayed in Indiana the whole time, she would always wonder, well, what would it have been like to live in Arizona? I always wanted to do that. I didn't do it. I'm mad at myself. Or if she was so sunk cost fearful that she's like, oh, I can't move back to Indiana because interest rates are higher. I'm going to stay in Arizona, but I'm not going to be as happy because I'm not getting the things I need to get back home in Indiana. She moved back. And to me, that encompasses what this authentic life is all about. It's about taking risks, experiencing different versions of yourself, going and making it happen, doing it smart and crunching the numbers and making sure you're being smart about things, but not letting the numbers always dictate what it is that you do. And being okay that, all right, I might waste some money, but you know what? That's what life is about. And yes, she's fortunate to be in a position where she can not have to like pinch pennies, but again, if it's really that important to you, then I think the risks associated with it and the sacrifices you might have to make are worth it. So like to me, that is like the epitome of I want to do all types of planning like that, where we're taking risks, we're thinking outside the box, we're doing things other people won't do. We're overcoming those fears by consulting the plan, having conversations, talking about the numbers, making sure it doesn't blow things up, but then taking action. And so many people won't take action, whether it's the numbers or the fear, or they don't have an advisor who tells them, go do it. And
Mm.
not every advisor is going to be comfortable doing that because there are risks associated with it.